Whether you brew your coffee at home or you prefer to go out to a coffee shop, medical experts say you could be doing some harm to your body. The Centennial celebration isn't just happening here in Sheffield. In addition to having to solve a burglary, police are also having to be very mindful of the dangerous guns that are now on the streets. There are some people in Sheffield who are concerned their church is going up on the auction block. Coming up, I'll tell you exactly what's really happening. But despite the confusion, the church is still open and it's actually growing. The Russellville police chief isn't taking phone calls from the media at this point. That could show the gravity of this investigation. But it seems like the only good news could be forensics tests proving that this is not a human foot. But of course, we're still waiting on that. Cadaver dogs and search teams are spreading out and combing the woods in search of what could be human remains in the Hester Heights community. Although Hemsey search team leaders say the dogs haven't found anything significant, they are checking areas of probability.
Law enforcement will guide us as to the areas of probability based on the local features, whether it be the way the housing is set up, or if there's a patch of woods that there was suspicious activity in.
Police Chief Chris Hargett says since a dog brought home the foot, it could have traveled from miles away. With no way of knowing where it came from, the search is likened to a shot in the dark. Investigators and searchers say they're strategically covering the area, but they need answers from forensic test results.
Sometimes they have more information that helps us on scene immediately, and then sometimes we just have to make the best of the situation.
Until forensic science can tell us for sure that that's what it is, we're going to go on the assumption that it's human remains, because we'd hate not to be doing something.
If lab results tell investigators an age range, gender, and race, investigators will be better equipped to narrow down the search locations based on missing persons reports or crimes. And those search teams obviously do an amazing job with very highly trained dogs. Coming up at 6, you'll hear what goes into a major search like this. Karen?
Candace, you've been talking to people out in the neighborhood covering this story. What kind of emotion are they expressing?
Well, a lot of people are confused. It's a very quiet neighborhood. It's a lot of homes, but they're spread out in between woods. And actually, the chief of police lives at the bottom of this hill where the foot was found. So people are just kind of flabbergasted, if you will. Karen, the National Sleep Foundation found that more than 65% of moms drink caffeinated beverages just to make it through their day.
Mommy's gonna go get ready, okay?
These days, moms have their hands full. Meet Ashley Martin. She's a wife, a housekeeper, and part of the workforce. So how do these super women keep up? They're supercharged with up to 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day.
You go to bed thinking about the things you have to do when you wake up in the morning, and you wake up thinking, I'm never going to get it all done.
Whether you brew your coffee at home or you prefer to go out to a coffee shop, medical experts say you could be doing some harm to your body. Research shows caffeine can trigger migraines, heartburn, not to mention an increased risk of miscarriages. It even impacts your heart. But there is a bright side.
The good news is there are no serious health consequences to that, either in the short or the long term.
Martin says the short-term symptoms don't outweigh giving her enough energy to be a good mother.
What's not harmful these days, That's how I feel about it.
Of course, caffeine isn't all bad. Studies actually show it can improve memory, decrease fatigue, and improve mental functioning. The Blind Monkey Bar and Grill is under construction right now, but the restaurant may not open up under its original plans. The fine dining restaurant / coffee house that would bring musical entertainment was recently denied its liquor license. People who live nearby, like G.H. Terry, say they're relieved.
I believe that this kind of place is going to affect the values of my property.
The former reverend says he doesn't want the potential violence and noise from a bar, and he's even questioning the restaurant's name.
It would suit a honky-tonk just fine. It'd be a honky-tonk name.
Co-owner Daniel Haynes says his establishment will be a different animal than the previous business with a bad history called Something Fishy.
We're having to pay for the sins of the previous folks. I don't feel like we were given a chance.
City council members agreed with Terry and unanimously denied the liquor license request.
All we're asking for is an opportunity to do the right thing. Let us show you we're going to do the right thing.
Haynes and his business partner have appealed to get their license. There's also a provisional license where the city can give their specific stipulations. Meanwhile, they'll continue the renovations. In Muscle Shoals, Candace White, WAAY 31 News. Friends of Stephanie Nemeth Hyde made this video of the blushing bride last week, but this wedding wasn't your typical ceremony.
He said that in our hearts we're married anyway, and he just wanted to make it legal. Okay. And then he got down on his knee and asked me.
Not long after bringing this beautiful baby into the world, Stephanie was diagnosed with breast cancer.
She started having some problems with hip pain and pain in her arm and different things like that, and it got to where she couldn't walk.
The cancer started in her breast and spread to her arm and liver. In a matter of days, though, the family had everything in place so Austin and Stephanie could marry in the church chapel, making their family complete. But her best friends didn't waste much time shedding tears. They're planning a walk of hope to provide for the family's newborn and to pay for the pricey cancer treatments.
To raise money for her, to help her prolong to her future with her family, that's worth every minute of time that I put into this.
I think that she would do the same for any one of us. And I think that, to me, it was just a big eye-opener because she is so young.
But at the age of just 34, it's evident that Stephanie has made a lifetime of friends.
She just has said, I always knew people cared about me, but I never knew this many people cared.